my first question.
Yes.
When, after everything we did, we're lucky to sit on our plane.
Okay.
What are your suggestions? What we should do? And on the other hand, definitely not to do.
So the first thing as you board, I always tell people is be really careful at the jetway. People are always falling on the jetways because remember it's out exposed to the weather. So it could be rainy, there could be ice, so be very careful as you go down the jetway and get onto the plane. Watch for the step. And as you get on, if you've got some special training, if you're a fireman, policeman, military, doctor, or nurse, smile at the flight attendants and discreetly tell them, say, hey, if you need anything on board, I'm a policeman, I'm a fireman, I'm a nurse. Because then if they do need some help with a medical issue or somebody unruly, they will come, could come get you. So it's always nice. And it's a good way to get on, let them know you're there if they need help. Um, be prepared to put your stuff away, as you were kind of saying. I always tell people, I would make the PA announcements. Take out the headphones if you're going to use them when you get on. Put everything else in your carry-on. You don't need to carry stuff in your hands. When we have stuff in our hands, that's when we trip or fall. We can't reach for something. And as you're walking down the aisle, be mindful of the people sitting there. So you're carrying your backpack and you're knocking over the drinks on somebody's tray table. You're hitting them with your backpack and stuff. So, be conscious of the people around you. I always mention put your large carry-on bag in the overhead across from your seat. And there's two reasons for doing that. Number one, when you're sitting there, you can look up and see your bag. So nobody can take it by mistake and nobody can get in it. But number two, when you get up to get off, it's easier to reach across the aisle and get the bag out than to reach up and pull it towards your head. A lot of people, you'll see people hurt themselves, drop the bag. Never pull the suitcase towards your head. So pull it towards you, but from across the aisle. Always people are leaving stuff on the airplanes all the time, wallets and phones. So if you are going to put something in the seat back pocket before you land, make sure you check all around you. What do I have? Do I have my headset? Do I have my wallet? Do I have my passport or boarding card? I don't recommend putting anything in the seat back pocket that's small that can fall. If something does fall between the seats, you'll always see, especially on the airlines now, they're saying don't move the seat around. Call for the flight attendants to help you. You could crush your headphones. You could crush your hand reaching in there, especially, the airlines that have adjustable seats, so don't reach in anywhere. Call for somebody to help you. Take your seat. Don't put the.
To smile to flight attendant because every time I'm flying, I know that a part of my brilliant time spent on board depends on crew members, and I really appreciate their efforts. And it's far from easy to manage all the travelers with different tempers, different expectations, and so on. And each time I'm asking myself, guys, why don't you see how much those people are doing for you? And be nice to them. It's not it's not gonna hurt you
Right.
because it's a respect you're showing when you're just entering the aircraft that's gonna bring you somewhere in a good place for work, for holiday, doesn't matter. But these are people making your travel nice. What would you say?
I think that's an excellent idea. And then touching base on that, it's important to remember during the boarding, the first priority is to get the plane out. So it's not a time to be asking for pillows and blankets and, a drink of water to take your pills. Let everybody get seated. Let's get the airplane loaded up so that it can get underway and on time. And those are the times you can start asking for questions, asking the in-flight crew member. Doesn't hurt to say please and thank you. The other thing is there's a lot of airlines that don't allow the in-flight crew members to lift heavy bags. So if your bag is really heavy, don't drag it on the plane and then expect an in-flight crew member to lift it up and put it in the overhead bin. The airlines have had to cut back because of so many on-the-job injuries, people getting hurt doing that. So don't be mad, but that is, in many cases, the airline's policy for the protection of the in-flight crew members. So,
My next question: in case we're boarded, we're happy, we're almost ready to fly, and there's a captain speaking and tells us, "Oops, we have to wait for 30 minutes more. There's a delay." Different people start to react in very different ways. What would be the right thing to do?
well, I hope the crew shares. The most important thing is that the captain does share what's going on. A lot of times I'm in South Florida, storms en route. Everybody has to go north. So if he shares it's a weather, we're waiting for the ATC clearance, that's fine. But just be upfront with the people. It's going to be 30 minutes. It could be longer. We understand that, but they're giving you an idea. The thing is, obviously, stay in your seat unless you have to use the restroom and stuff. We don't want people running all around the airplane uh, because then when it is time to go, you want to get out of there as quick as you can. And you don't want somebody getting hurt. So I think just be patient. I know a lot of people get nervous. The technology is amazing. You can start looking at your connecting flights. Most reputable airlines are already going to have you backed up on another flight, and you can look on your app and see that if you're going to be late for your connecting flight, what are your options? So that'll take up to 30 minutes. Start having as you and I talked about last episode, what's your plan B? If I'm late, what am I going to do?
This is the point because I must confess, I am always trying to have the plan B, but sometimes I'm not that ready that I should be. And I see people they are panicking because they have no clue what is a plan B. They have the only way, the only idea how the travel is supposed to happen. So, as you tell, they are not ready to take any actions, and they have no clue where to look, whom to scream about. And again, as you told, you should look maybe the app or something, but not torturing the cabin crew who is not aware of your connecting flights wherever you land. So this is some kind of we have to be responsible for our travel and check for the plan B and maybe see if there are different weather conditions and we are not so very sure to be at the final destinations when we, we've planned to do. My next question is even worse. If there's something and we have no idea what it is, but we need to leave the aircraft and we need to be very patient back at the airport, what is the best thing to do to get out of the plane, not to hurt anyone, keep the cabin crew safe,
Mhm.
and come back to the airport in the best condition possible?
That's a great question. So, one of the things is you're going to be deploying for a couple reasons. It could be mechanical. It could be, like you said, the wait's going to be too long, and it certainly is much more comfortable in the terminal than sitting on the plane if it's going to be an extensive delay. And it can be a security issue. We've seen a lot of times where passengers don't want to get off the plane. So the new process is let's get everybody off. So my recommendation is to take everything with you. Do just like you're going to get off. Don't leave anything on the plane because if it's a mechanical issue, they could be switching airplanes and you don't want us to have to say, "Hey, I left my suitcase on there." If it's a security issue and it becomes an extended delay, again, you'll be without. So take everything with you. Look around you. Be situationally aware of the overhead bin. Did you get everything out? Did you check the seat back pockets? Take everything with you again. Don't be mad at the in-flight crew member. Remember, they didn't make that decision. Don't be mad at the pilots. It's for your safety and convenience that you're getting off. But do take everything with you. Go out in the gatehouse. Give the gate agent a minute to get things organized because the first priority is to get everybody off of the plane. Then they're going to close the door and then he or she can start answering questions about what's going on. And they may be, and I was in that boat many times, they may know just as much as you. There's a mechanical issue, and until the maintenance guys get there and review it, we really won't know what's going on. If it's weather related, you can look and see what's the forecast. It's already 3 inches and they're forecasting 12 more. It's probably not going to get much
Not
better.
today.
Not that, yeah. So,
uh, my question, I've seen as many times, maybe not as many times as you, but many people are getting extremely nervous when they have to come back to the airport. And you have an impression they are very disappointed not to fly immediately. And they are not very much willing to understand exactly what you told. They're thinking that crew members or pilots just took a decision not to fly immediately where they want. And the next thing, they are expecting answers from the airport handling agents 30 seconds after they're in the airport terminal. What can other passengers do? Because let's be honest, everyone reacts in a different way, but we need to educate people and give them some advices how to make even this situation comfortable to them.
there's a lot that goes on, and it's hard, to explain. So with the cruise, as we saw with the Southwest incident, cruise scheduling is very challenging. There's a lot of governments that have very strict requirements for flight attendants and pilots, and they can time out. They can't fly anymore that day. They've flown too much or they're tired. So that can play into it also. And delays, they're delayed because of weather and stuff, delayed waiting for another plane. So there's a lot of things in the puzzle that have to come together for the plane to leave on time. And a lot of times the people that are running it are communicating with the gate agent that, hey, the flight's going to be delayed. We're waiting for an airplane. But at the same time, the dispatchers are juggling to see, wait, I got another plane that's going to be there sooner. Is it possible to use that plane? And we could get flight A out on time and maybe delay flight B. So it's not that they don't care, but you've got to juggle all the different pieces of the puzzle. And if we do get a different plane there, do we have the pilots that are approved to fly that type of aircraft? Will they be able to take the plane? And where will we get the flight attendants? Unfortunately, you'll see a lot of airlines start canceling near the end of the month. That's as the crews start getting close to their allowable time to fly for the month. And just be patient. They're trying, and as I always say, the people are working hard to fly. The airlines don't make money unless the plane gets filled up and leaves. And that's what their goal is, to make money. So.
Uh, I think we will definitely need to go further with the episode 3 once we're taking off and so on. But to conclude, what would you say to people? Uh, what is the most important thing for them to pass this stage number 2, let's say, after choosing the destination, after getting ready to pack and getting to the airport, and all the stress to security line, because a lot of people are still stressed and not even ready to go for the security check. Sorry to tell that, but that's true. What is the most essential thing for the stage 2? Getting on the plane, being ready to different situations that might we might face a delay or cancellation or something, because every one of us, we want to travel in a very positive way. We need to keep ourselves safe and joyful, maybe.
Well, the last thing is we're all anxious to get off, so everybody jumps up. We start pulling suitcases out. The people around you start pulling suitcases
With the
out,
bird.
hitting people in the head. So, first of all, don't be in a rush. Even the double-decker A380 can be unloaded in about 15 minutes or less. So, if 600 people can get off, the standard 757 takes less than 10 minutes to get off. So, you're going to get off. Just be safe getting off. So, watch what you're doing when you pull out your items. Make sure you're not hitting somebody in the head. Look for loose things up there, canes, crutches and stuff. Those are always loose, and you pull out your suitcase and it knocks it down. The next thing is you're leaving the airport, as you're getting off the plane, don't approach a stranger. If they're holding a sign, they're going to give you a ride. That's very dangerous, especially at some international destinations. They're going to look for the traveler uh, to get you and to put you in a cab and take you away. So use approved transportation when you get to your destination. I always recommend taking a picture of the license plate, smile and tell the driver to smile. You're going to take their picture and text the picture to a friend. Then you know which car you're in and where you're going. But yes, make sure, don't be in a hurry because now you're there for the vacation, so enjoy it.
Perfect. I thank you very much, and I will prepare all my questions for the episode 3, because
Okay.
even if a lot of us are flying, we still have to learn how to make the air travel safe and positive, and a very nice thing to remember. And as I'm telling, it's never too late to learn, and
Okay.
this is the way to make cabin crew life easier, and airport handling agent life much easier. Maybe
And
that's going to be something positive for everyone.
it'll be a much better flight for you if you're relaxed and on it. So